You know what I'm saying? So it got to the point where now we cool. You feel me? Now we could co-parent. We this, that, and the third. Of course, the mistake that was made on my behalf, I'm gonna take that, like I said. Okay, after all of that, y'all, I let my clitoris speak for me. We greasing, we, now we talking, we spending time, whatever. One thing led to another. Now, y'all, I'm pregnant for the second time. So I'm pregnant, whatever. We're living together. During this time now, I still don't know that he's messing with her and other people. Because I made it clear, I'm like, okay, what is it that you want to do? Because, I'm not finna be, mind you, y'all, we still married. We've always still been legally married. So, now, he like, okay, yeah, he want to work on the marriage, this, that, and third. So, we started seeing each other again, all this stuff, and then I ended up pregnant again. So now, by this time, y'all, because I can't believe this. So now, I'm sitting, I'm not gonna lie, we had a good time. We doing what we doing, whatever, we chilling, we vibing, this, that, and the third. One day, I'm at work, and he called me, or I think I called him on break or something like that. And he's like, oh, you want to go out to eat? And I'm like, mind y'all, I'm newly pregnant, so I'm sick, I'm nauseous. And I'm like, nah, I just want to go home. My hair wasn't done, nails not done, nothing. I was just a hot mess. He was like, no, let's just go. Like, he was like real, very determined to go to eat. And then, so I kind of figured, I'm like, I think I know what he trying to do. And so me thinking what I'm thinking, I was like, no, because my hair not done. I don't want him to do that while my hair's not done. So I guess he was like, okay, whatever. So now when he comes to pick me up, it's him, our first son, and his friend. And so as I'm walking out, I see he kind of nervous, like he a little jittery. So I'm like, what, I'm thinking, okay, so what I was thinking, it's true. This man gets on his knee and proposes to me again in the parking lot. Mind y'all, this is the second ring. The first ring was stolen. So he went to go, we never talked about him doing this. We didn't discuss it. So this is something that he did on his own. So when he can't, he get on his knees, y'all, I'm automatically embarrassed because I'm like, damn, the job parking lot. And I'm like, he was so nervous, he actually dropped the ring. And I think I still have the video. So if I have the video, I have to go look at my other phone. If I have the video, oh damn, nah, I can't. I will try to post it and cover the face up. It's dark anyway, so y'all probably wouldn't be able to see. So I of course said yes. I mean, we was already married, so it's like a recommitment, I guess it was a proposal to like recommit to each other, whatever. So that was that. So, from that point on, I'm like, okay, we moving forward, we doing this, that, and the third. So y'all, now throughout the pregnancy, of course, I know about this child, right? So I would constantly say because he's the type of person, he would avoid a situation before he talk about it. Any situation, y'all. And that was one of the reasons why we got into a lot of arguments, because there was no communication. Like, this man don't know how to communicate at all. So I would be like, okay, so what's up with that? What's going on? Because if when you come in town, you home, you never talk about this situation. What's up? I'm like, so you don't hear from her, because I'm like, from my point of view, if I have your jit, you gonna hear from me. You could choose not to be there. I don't, but you gonna support in some way somehow. So I would ask like, you didn't hear from her, you didn't do this, and I'm like, and that's what kind of got me fishy, because I'm like, you know. So fast forward, y'all. This man convinced me that it was not his child. Now, there's a situation that happened with the same friend that was there when he did the proposal. Is that same friend? He I don't even know if he was dating the girl at the time or what, but it's a girl that he had children with, right? And I don't know what made him doubt. I think he was supposed to have 2 kids with her, but he only knew for sure. He only believed for sure that one of them was his, and so he wanted to do a DNA test. And he did it, but he did it behind the girl back. And what he thought was exactly the truth. There was only one of the children out of the 2 that was biologically his, right? So he would say, oh, everybody say Jit don't look like me. Everybody when they see Zay, everybody, my son, y'all name is Zay. When they see Zay, everybody know that's my Jit. He look just like me and the old boy. This and the third, which he does, but that don't mean nothing.
Okay, y'all, so mind you, when I asked this man about the situation with his child, he specifically told me that she chose to have the baby or keep the baby behind his back, that they had an agreement and he gave her the money for the abortion. However, when he came back from work, he seen that she was still pregnant. Mind you guys, I have no idea all of this going on because we're still separated at this point. So this is what I found out later on. So he said that she chose obviously to keep the baby and the money. I don't know how true it is. I don't know what conversation they had or what agreement they had and didn't have. At the end of the day, this is the story that he told me, and hence why that was the text message that he sent her.
And honest God, I promise on everything I love, this is what I told this man. Even though the situation was the way it was, there was never a time where I convinced this man to not be a part of his child life, or I convinced him that it wasn't. Whatever. I believed what he told me with a grain of salt. And I'm like, but I kept telling him, like, okay, like, and the only reason why it was kind of believable, because as I would ask this man, like, have you heard from her? He would tell me, no, they haven't spoken. She doesn't reach out. And I'm like, I don't see that happening, because if that's your baby daddy, and then he got the means to, at least the least he could do is support financially. So I'm like, if she know that's her baby daddy, I know she gonna be reaching out. But he would tell me straight up, no, he haven't heard from her, she haven't reached out, whatever. So I'm like, okay, y'all, it was a lie the whole time, but at the time I didn't know. So he ends up buying I'm big belly at this time. He ends up buying a DNA, the one from you could get from Walgreens. So I think he got it from Walgreens. He ended up buying the DNA kit. And he told me, because his plan was to, say, he wanted to pick up the child and spend time with, and then do it that way. I'm like, no. You know, like, if that, like, for me, let me tell y'all, a lot of women think it's offensive when a nigga asks for a DNA. You know, me, truthfully, I don't watch niggas take care of kids, raise them as their own, and these girls be knowing that it's not their kids. So, in a situation, if in like that, I'm not taking no offense. You know, as his wife, yes, I would be offended because nigga, I'm your wife. You know, but in a situation like that, okay, here, if I know that's your legit, go do what you gotta do. And then when you find out what you need to find out, take care of what you need to take care of. Right? So I told him not. Like, just let her know. So he told her or reached out to her. I think he sent her a text, and she was quick with it. She was like, sure, whatever. So I was finna go. But I chose to stay. I said, I'm gonna stay because I'm pregnant and I don't want things to go left. So he's on the phone with me the whole time. I can't remember if it was on the phone or video. I don't even know if we had video calls like that. But yeah, whatever. So he goes, and I hear them in the background. And as soon as I guess he pulls out the test, it got loud. So I guess she was like, oh, how can you, like, do this, whatever. They going back and forth. He leaves, and then so she calls him and was like, if like, how you going, I'm thinking you want to spend time with your son, but you putting out DNA test, this your son. If you did want a DNA test, for them to go to an actual clinic to do it, not no damn CVS thing, which I can agree with. I probably would have said the same thing too. Just to make sure, to have a professional do it. And so all this, this is what's going on over here. I don't know what he's telling her or, telling other people, but this is what he was telling me. This is how it happened from my perspective. There was a time where my cousins came to the house because he had the DNA thing sitting on our kitchen. It's not even an island, a kitchen counter, whatever. And he ends up calling. He had stepped out. He ends up calling me. Excuse me. And he was like, "Babe, move," because it was embarrassing. He was embarrassed. He was like, "Move the DNA test and put it in the jar for me." And I'm like, "I already did that. No worries." He was like, "Okay." Y'all, I don't know if this DNA test even ever happened, but I think he just accepted the fact that it was his son without telling me, and he started to pay her child support, like voluntarily, not, of course, not through the courts. Everything good, whatever, but there was some stuff that was, I still didn't believe, like, come on, because you paying child support. The DNA test never happened, but now all of a sudden the child that you said, and mind you, there was a comment that he made, in regards to this child, and I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it because I think that it's a child, but as a parent, in your heart of hearts, knowing that that's your son and you would make a comment like that is what gets me. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, you jotting down like notes in your brain, in your mind. Because when he came home that day from the DNA fiasco, he told me straight up, "Oh, Jit don't look a honey." And I'm like, "What you mean?" "Oh, he don't look a honey. I seen Zay when Zay was around that, age, and it's different." And I'm like, okay, and that's all I'm gonna say. So, over the time, I would be like, "You ain't hear from her?" I would still be asking, like, "You ain't hear this? You ain't hear that?" No. And y'all, yes, I was dumb, stupid, and naive for even believing that. My family that's watching this, there's something that only certain individuals know, and the rest of y'all gonna learn in this video. There was a time, right? And it's always when I just had a baby, y'all. So I just had my daughter, and he was we take turns. We took turns. Like, my shift was the night shift, and I believe his was the day shift, or vice versa. So that day, I'm in the room. I'm tired. I'm sleep deprived. I'm just, and this man going back and forth to the kitchen and grab a beer. Back and forth to the kitchen and grab a beer. He had some food that I think it was leftover from the day before. I don't remember if I cooked it that day or if it was leftover. I believe it was leftover because I ended up heating it up for him. And y'all know when y'all keep heating up food in the microwave, it gets to the point where it's dry as hell. The microwave gonna fry that rice better than the Chinese restaurant. So he kept heating it up, going back and forth to the kitchen, grab a beer. And it's supposed to be his time to be watching Mabel so I could sleep. So of course I'm irritated. So an argument, or not even an argument, we didn't even argue, it just tension build up. Because I'm tired, I'm exhausted, I'm sleepy, this baby, I'm taking care of, whatever. I don't remember if it was school or not, because I don't remember. No, I think it was the weekend because my son was home too. So something, I don't know what happened, and I just felt the tension over there. I don't know. I guess we probably exchanged a few words, and then so I ended up calling his sister, and I'm like, yo, like this, because y'all, truthfully, I was exhausted with the whole situation. You feel me? So I called her sister and I'm like, yo, this is what happened. Like, whatever. She was like, man, it's crazy. Y'all just was thinking about y'all. You want me to stop by? I'm like, yeah. So she comes to the house. Before she even make it to the house, argument broke out because from the living room, he heard me on the phone. So he come in the room like trying to check shit. Like, who you on the phone with? Don't worry about it. So he walks away and then he come back. This man trying to take my phone. So he'll try to take my phone. So now we tussling. Mind you, I just had another C-section. So we tussling for my phone. And I'm telling him like, yo, watch out, man, my C-section. So it's the first time ever him trying to grab my phone, ever try to grab anything of mine. Like, so I don't know. Maybe it was the liquor, the beer, whatever. Forgive me, y'all. Sometimes I sound like maybe an accent will come out. If y'all know I'm from the Caribbean. But he tried to take the phone and he couldn't get the phone. So now we tussling. So I'm like, you know what? I don't even know how it ended up. Whatever. I think he actually took it. And then so I said, you know what, man, I'm out of here. So I grabbed my baby. I told my son get out, come out the room, his room, and I'm like, let's go. So now he ain't like that. He see me going towards the door. He ain't going nowhere. Give my key. Now y'all, he grabbed my keys, talking about he paid for my car. He gonna snatch my key. Okay, I took the key, I threw it, and I cleared it. If y'all know, well, it's my family and the people closest to me know that this man would do. I told y'all when we got into argument, most of the time he'll take the key because we only had one car, and he would go wherever he went. Evidently he was going into somebody else's vagina, but it didn't stop nothing because I always had people to come and pick me up. I always cleared it too, right behind you. So, I guess when him grabbing the key, I don't know what he thought, but he took the key and said, oh, he paid for the car. So, okay, I threw the key. I ain't see when this man leave. I ain't see when he left the house. So me, my both of my kids outside. And then his sister ended up coming. And so we was sitting out on the grass, y'all. Because I'm like, I don't want to be by this man. I want nothing. So she ended up seeing us on the grass. I had a C-section, so I'm holding my baby. I'm sitting on the grass. Y'all, it probably took her 5 to 7 minutes to help me get up off that damn grass, okay? It hurt so bad. Because the way where we were sitting at was a little hill. And then my wound, my C-section, it was painful. So now she comes and she's, like, damn, what happened? This, that, and the third. Explain to her what happened. So now we drive up to my in front of my building. Try to go inside, y'all. Door locked. Door locked. So I'm like, damn, what my key? I don't have my keys. I don't even think I have my phone. And then so she called her brother like, yo, can you bring the key back? Just bring us the key and you can leave. Y'all, it was sunlight outside. You know, when I got inside the house, close to, it was either 11, it was dark as hell. It was like 11, close to midnight is when I got inside the house. Mind you, I have a newborn baby. They have to eat like every 2 hours. She called her brother multiple times and was like, yo, bring the key, the baby need to eat. Just having the third. Oh, she got money in her account. I'll go get some, go buy some. Mad. So I'm like, okay. She's like, you know what? At this point, do what you gotta do. She was like, we gotta call the locksmith. We called the locksmith. Locksmith come out, and that's how I was able to get into the house, feed the baby, change. She stayed there for a little bit, prayed, and then she left. When she left, when she got home, I think she called me, to make sure I was good. And as I was speaking to her, here comes her brother. I hear the key, in the door. He thinking he finna get his key gonna work. So once he realized his key don't work, he started knocking, calling my phone. I'm not answering. I didn't flinch. I didn't move. I ain't do nothing. At that point, I was done. Right? I was done. But after a while, I hear, y'all know, there's a knock. There's a distinct knock the way police knock. And I heard that knock and I knew it was them. And then I heard MRPD. I'm like, damn. Mind y'all, we ain't never had no incident. And it was kind of embarrassing because damn, look what time of this police coming knocking at my door. So I opened the door and they was like, oh, he just want to get his things. Okay. He grabbed him a couple bags, started packing his things, and he left. So immediately after the police leave, I'm like, I'm finna go to sleep. My phone started ringing. I'm not picking up because it was him. I started getting a text. I'm not responding. He blow me up, text me like, please, let him back in. He apologized. He's sorry, this, on the third. He was like, he don't even have to sleep in our bedroom. He'll sleep in the living room or in our son's bedroom. This, that, and the third. And I was just like, no. And then my dumbass gave in. And I was like, okay. I told him, go straight into my son's room. I made my son come in my room. And I told him, go straight in there. Don't talk to me. Don't look this way. Don't nothing. And then I think that was that. And then I don't know if it was that situation, but there was another situation. But this time it was I don't know what y'all. It was another situation where his old boy was the one that, did the work for him to be able to come back home. So I can't remember if it was that or if it was a different situation, but whatever it was, um, I ended up was like whatever, like I'm good. Like it was just becoming too stressful, too much, and I was like this bickering back and forth, and it don't be about nothing. It be something small, you know what I'm saying? It be, and I'm like I wasn't the type of person to just shut up or to do what he think I should do or to eat what he think I should eat or I should, like everybody that know me know I don't like vegetables. I don't like anything that's green besides money. Like I don't eat any of those stuff. It don't taste good. At that time, I'm better now, but at that time, that's how it was. I hated vegetables. That was something that I even had with my dad. You know what I'm saying? Like my dad, like he just allowed. You know how them parents be, especially Caribbean parents. Like you have to eat what they cook. You have to do this. Like there's no other options. My dad wasn't like that. If I didn't like something, he got me whatever got me something else. If I didn't want it, don't eat it. Like not everybody have the same taste buds. I don't get why people force children or people, like to eat something that they don't like. But anyway, whatever the argument was that time or whatever the disagreement was at that time, I was just done with it. And I was like, it's crazy because like damn, I'm exhausted, like I said. Mind you, I'm already doing it on my own. And then when you come home on your off time, you should be home. Like you should be picking up the pieces. You know what I'm saying? Give me a break. Instead, you want to go drink and chill with niggas and cheat, obviously, all day. Didn't not knowing that that's what he was doing, but whatever. Anyways, so at that time, I guess he went to his parents' house and was talking to his old boy and letting his old boy know how he messed up or just basically saying that he messed up. So I guess whatever it is that he told his dad, his old boy called me, and I had saved one of those voicemails, but I don't think I have it anymore. But the old boy called me. I didn't pick up because at that time I was done. I was like, nope, I already know what you're calling for. I don't want to talk. I don't want to hear it. Nothing. But at the same time, I didn't want to be disrespectful. So like about a third voicemail. But I did end up falling asleep too. So it wasn't like I was not answering on purpose, but at the same time I wasn't because I just ended up just going to sleep. So when I woke up, I called him back and I was like, hey. He's like, oh, you see me calling you? You're not picking up. And I was like, oh, I just shot him a jolly. And I was like, oh, I was sleeping, whatever. And so he explained to me, what his son said to him. And you know how he, like, he don't usually get into, kids, we still kids to them, kids business. But he see, that his son explained to him that, he really loves me. He really wants to be with his family. And he was saying how, we have children together, 2 kids now, and that, we need to take this serious. And he was telling me like, oh, like how, when we have our problems, is between him and I. Like, kids shouldn't know, nobody should know that, when we have issues, which I agree. Because it wasn't, to me, at that time, it wasn't issues that, was bad. It was just dumb stuff. So, he was basically telling me like, oh, is it fine for him to come, for his son to come back to the house? Or, do he have to come and escort the son in? I said, the only way he's going to be able to come back, y'all would have to bring him, walk him back in this place. Because at that time, I'm like, okay, we're going to talk about this while your parents here to figure it out. So he was like, okay. So he was like, he's going to wait. His daughter went to go pick him, from, when she got off work, she went to go pick them up, brought them to my house. So now while they at the house, basically explained to me again everything. And then once he finished talking to me, it was like, oh, okay, such and such is here. Can he come in now? So okay, he walks into the house, and he's coaching his, I guess being a counseling mediator, whatever. And one thing I could say is that, man, this man, y'all, sorry, my stomach growling. I've heard a lot of things, and like I said, I'm not gonna say too much because out of respect. But although all those things I did hear, he didn't want his son to at one point I could say he didn't want his son to go in the direction that we're in now. And I remember him telling me, like, he had those same issues as a young man, and how he used to do the same thing, like, go, I don't, like I said, I don't want to take too much. And so I guess he was just trying to make sure that his son didn't repeat those things. So when he came to while we still at the house, they still at the house, they speak, he's giving me pointers, giving his son pointers, and telling us, to hug it out, kiss it out. And then they sang and prayed, and then they left. Hold on, my bad, y'all. But and then from there, it was, we was good. And I it was a time too. I was like, I sat him down and I had a conversation. I was like, like, what's going on? Like, do like, are you happy to be here? Like, because I'm like, okay, we having these petty ass arguments. What's up? What's good? Like, and me thinking like, okay, we done went through all that. This supposed to be like our honeymoon stage. Like, we reconcile. We done reconciled. All this, what I'm saying? Even with me in the back of my head thinking like, okay, because remember, it still wasn't officially proven that he had a son. So in my mind, I'm like, and then y'all, it took everything in me. And I believe the thing that kind of pushed me more into working on our marriage is because I was, I had got pregnant the second time. And, I was like, we already married, I'm pregnant, F it, And not just that, I did love him at the time too, but that was more so what played a role in it. So I'm like, okay. So I sat him down, I'm like, what's up, whatever, do you want to be here, doing it? This man comes, like, I'm talking about tears with crying, and say, this is where he want to be, he don't want to be with nobody else, this, that, and the third. And I'm like, okay, and if it sounded sincere, it felt sincere, and I believed him. So me knowing what I know about what he told me and what I've also heard from other people about, his upbringing, I just contributed to his childhood. So I'm like, it got to a point, y'all, he was in anger management. There was a time where, like, we, like, I don't know, it was just a lot. So one time, y'all, when I was this played a key role. One time, right? Mind you, this is where I went wrong, because when we decided to work on our marriage again, we were supposed to lay everything down on the table, and and let everybody know, and let each other know what was up, what you was doing on that time, and with who, and this and the third. So it wouldn't be no surprises. We didn't do that. So So when we before I had my daughter, when I was still pregnant, yeah, we was roommating at the time. And I remember one time we sleeping, like 2 o'clock in the morning, his phone rings. And I'm like, we up. Mind you, I'm already a light sleeper. So the phone ring, and I hear, he answered it on speaker because he tried to show that he's transparent. He answered it on speaker, and the girl was like, "Oh, such and such said to call her," and he was like, "Oh, nah, for what, man? Don't call my phone." And he bangs it. So I'm like, "Who's that?" And he tell me, "Oh, the girl that," because he told me some girl he was messing with when we was separated. And he told her not to call, and he had blocked her, which was true because that's how come she wasn't able to call. They had to call off a different number. What he didn't tell me, y'all, who the person was. He didn't tell me who the person was for a reason. And the reason, because why? He wanted to keep her in his back pocket. So now, fast forward back to where I just left off at. So now we're at the house. Y'all, the person that went through all this to get back in the house, y'all, he cheating. Still cheating because he was cheating the whole time. So a situation happened. Mind y'all, I'm not gonna say that, but right, a situation happened, and I find out obviously he is cheating, right? Because there's no other way it can happen. Not for me, at least. So, mind you, I'm getting ready. It was his birthday. We're getting ready to celebrate his birthday. I'm in front of the people, this girl to do my hair. I'm in front of her shop, you know, waiting to do my hair, getting ready, whatever. No, matter of fact, I think we had an argument that night before. And y'all, he slept out. He slept out. He didn't even sleep home. So Lord knows who he was with, or where did he sleep. You know, because when something like that would happen, he would always go to his parents' house and call me from there on their phone to show me that he had his parents' house. But nigga, after that phone call, you could always clear it. But anyway, like I said, I wasn't stressing it too much because at that point, you know, mentally it was already too much. So, and y'all know my nails. So I didn't even get to do my hair. I rushed home. I couldn't even wait to get home. I called him and was like, "Yo, who you been sleeping with? Who you been cheating with? This, that, and the third," because I just got this phone call. And he denying that he never slept with nobody, never cheated, whatever. But obviously you did. So when I find out, let me tell you how I found out who the girl was. No, I found out. How did I find out who the girl was? Oh, let me tell you this how I found out. Because one day he was in the shower. I think that was the argument. I think one day he was in the shower, right? And y'all, mind y'all, when I told y'all at that time I was naive. So when he told me something, this man is so convincing that I believed it. You know, even if I questioned it, I just went with it because I didn't have proof that it was a lie. So until I had proof, then I would just go with what he told me. So he was in the shower, right? And the phone rang. And mind y'all, I never checked this man's phone. Because I have the password to his phone. Our phones had the same password at the time. So, you know, I could have went in his phone anytime. Plus, he didn't keep his phone locked. And that's the mind game they played to try to pretend like they ain't hiding nothing. So the phone wide open. Knowing damn well. So, something, you know, that that intuition in me, that feeling that we get. I never got that feeling before. That day when while he in the shower, the phone rang. I got this. I ignored it. I got this feeling though, and the feeling said, "No, honey, check the phone." I checked the phone, and it say the girl name, not his baby mama, this other girl. It say this girl name. So I'm like, I go in the bathroom. I said, who's such and such? Y'all, when I tell y'all, even the water stopped running, without him turning it off, that's how quiet it got. Nigga, you heard me. Who's such and such? And he don't know why I'm asking. He like, how the hell she know? Then he tried to say, oh, whatever. Mind you, he had the name saved. Where I messed up at, like, I was so impulsive, y'all, that I didn't think. I didn't even go through the phone. I don't know what it was just impulsive of me, which I wish I would have just went through the phone right in there to check the call out, to check the text message, and I just went in and went like, it just, whatever. It is what it is. It's the past. And then so, I can't remember what excuse he gave me, but I knew it was a bull-faced lie. So I'm like, no. She ended up texting him. When he didn't answer, she texted him, one thing to know. I will never forget that message. She said, one thing to know. And so whatever he told me, I said, so what is it that she wants you to know? What is one thing to know? Which my dumb ass, I'm like, damn, I should have texted back to know, because to this day I never learned what it was, whatever. But I know that she was one of the women that he was cheating with, which happened to be his friend's sister. That's why he never told me who she was, y'all. So the whole time he talking about, oh, he finna go with such and such. He used to tell me situations that happened with his friend. And I say friend because them niggas ain't his friend for real. They bunch of leeches, whatever. Bunch of miserable fucks that want, they miserable, so they wanted company, and his dumbass fell for it. But anywho, he didn't tell me that was his sister, the friend's sister. So when he telling me this situation, telling me, oh, the homeboy is the one who telling him the whole time it was a lie. His homegirl, and she was hating on her own sister, the other sister, telling me about lotto money, not lotto, lawsuit that she won, and she's spending it on her nigga and not checking for the family, saying all this stuff. Whole time she telling him this, but he telling me that the homeboy telling him, which was a lie. So y'all, me doing my research, mind you, at this time I'm working, and then I get to I was working. I'm a licensed insurance agent, y'all. So I worked with this company selling Medicare Advantage plans. At that time, I was getting paid $21, which is, I still feel like it's good money, but of course you got, now these days you get paid more money. But at that time, I was getting paid $21, and that was good money at that time. So for me to risk, well, I'm going too fast. So I'm at the job. Mind you, none of these people I never knew, okay? So this narrative that they want to put out and say, oh, I knew, oh, the reason why, oh, let me answer y'all question. Well, let me don't get distracted. Let me stay on track. I'll answer the questions later. So I'm at work, y'all. I've been with this company, I think at that time, about maybe three years. I got licensed through them. I've been with, so I know the people. They know me by name and all that stuff. Well, the old people, because there was new management at that time. So I'm sitting, minding my business, and you know how you could feel somebody piercing you with their eyes. So I'm like, damn, what? Like, I'm looking, and I end up catching it, and I see this girl, she's staring me down. I'm like, who the hell? And if y'all know me, I like a good staring battle. So I'm staring back, like, what's up? Like, what happened? Why she staring? So me, I don't know how, but I think it was God. because the light bulb just went off in my head, and I was like, hold on, y'all. I put myself on whatever it is to walk away from my desk, and I went outside so quick. I called my cousin, because all these people are in the same vicinity, the same circle. You feel me? Of people. You know, it's they not hard to find. So I called somebody. I'm not gonna say who. I called somebody, and I said, "Yo, you know this girl named such and such? What's the last name?" Because I was trying to see if I know the homeboy last name, but when I put the name in the company email list, it didn't show up. So my brain was like, maybe it's a different last name. So that's why I called this person, and I was like, "Yo, what's this person last name?" And I was like, "I know this is that's such and such is her brother, but do they have the same as her last name this?" And she was like, "Nah, it's this." So when she told me, I said, "Okay, bet." Went back inside, put the name in the email list, y'all. While her name came up, I said, "Oh, okay, that's her." Y'all, let me tell y'all what my issue is, because you know, y'all sleeping with somebody who's married and in a relationship. Y'all issue not with me. And that's why I can understand why when they sleeping with the nigga, they always want to have pressure with the wife or the girlfriend to be fiance, baby mom, whatever the case is. The girl who has no idea, the one who getting played. They always have the issue with the individual. And I know usually they, you know, when women find out the nigga cheating, they always take their anger out on the dom. But y'all, I was in a blind. I didn't know. So I ain't had pressure with nobody. When I think I had saved the number when she had ended up calling his phone that day, and I ended up calling it or something, or texting. But I know we end up exchanging words or something. They will call my phone, y'all. I'm talking about people was calling my phone private. They was calling my phone, blowing me up. And I told my cousins, only a few certain people knew. Mind you, at this time he was out. My family didn't know, because at that time they didn't know, but there was a time, and y'all know, the people who know, y'all, that when y'all had that meeting about me, he was already at the house. Y'all didn't know, but he was out. Because at that time, I'm trying to figure whatever it is out. It didn't have nothing to do with him with the son, because my dumb, naive ass, even when I found out about this girl, I didn't even think that he was messing with her, because he painted a picture to me as if he disliked this girl so much, he hated her, this, that, and the third. And then, like I said, all the messages and stuff is going to be right here or in between the video, and y'all would have to pause and read it. For privacy reasons, I'm gonna blot out the number, but y'all already know who I'm talking about. So when they would, like I said, they was calling me private, this, that, and the third. So now I'm mad, because why y'all mad with me? Y'all sleeping with, you know, y'all helping this nigga cheat behind my back, whatever. And then so they'll come off, she'll call my phone coming out her mouth, this, that, and the third. So when I found out it was her at the job, I called my peoples, arranged the pickup for the kids. I was like, my debit card number, just in case I needed to get bonded out. And y'all was dumb of me, because I wasn't thinking, put it like that. So it was horrible, y'all. It was horrible. And most of y'all gonna be watching this video like, damn, all this transpired yesterday. So now, when that happened, um, I walked up to her desk because obviously you reckon, and y'all, how she recognized me. Mind you, this girl is younger than us. She's the brother's younger sister. How she know how I look to the point that you could recognize me at my workplace, that you staring me down. So I was like, like these people, they be knowing, and then they want to turn around and like go with a different narrative or put out a different narrative as if they the victim. You know what I'm saying? Like, the only person who was played in this whole situation was Juliet, okay? And my kids. Everybody else knew what they was getting into. And they wanted to paint that picture and say, oh, I knew. How, like, how was I supposed to know? How was I supposed to know? Like, y'all ain't never seen me until he started bringing me around. So how the hell am I supposed to know what he had going on before me? You know what I'm saying? So that's, like, take accountability instead of y'all, like, reprimand this man and like, tell him something. Y'all shift blaming and blaming me, the person who got played, instead of the person who created this whole mess. You know what I'm saying? He chose to marry me. He chose to bring me around. I didn't know any of y'all. I only knew him. I got to know y'all through him. I didn't know what situation he had going on. Whatever he told me is what I went with. And the lie that he's telling y'all and that y'all choosing to believe because y'all dislike me. And let me tell y'all why I feel like I'm disliked, which I don't give a damn, but this is why I feel like it, right? The number one reason, first, I married the favorite.